Welcome to another Know Your Rights segment. I'm Attorney Darion Holloway with Shane Smith Law, and today we're going to be talking about your Miranda rights. Now, we've all seen movies and TV shows when law enforcement arrests someone and they say, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be provided for you. What does that really mean? And where the heck did it come from? So today, we're going to dive in a little bit about where it came from and what it means. In 1963, a gentleman by the name of Ernesto Miranda was arrested in Arizona, hence the name Miranda Rights. He was then questioned and interrogated for 2 hours without an attorney or knowing his constitutional rights. Eventually, Mr. Miranda gave a written confession. Him and his attorneys went to trial, and ultimately, he was found guilty, largely in part of his written confession. Now, if that was the end of the story, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. So what happened and why? Mr. Miranda and his attorneys decided to appeal his conviction, and eventually the United States Supreme Court stepped in. And they had a question. They said, hold on, was Mr. Miranda advised of his rights? Did he have an attorney present? And did he know any of this prior to signing the confession? Of course, the answer was no. And the Supreme Court ruled that because he didn't know his rights and he didn't know he could have an attorney, anything he said or wrote could not be used as evidence against him, and he was ultimately found not guilty. And at that point, that birthed the Miranda rights, or warnings. Law enforcement agencies across the United States have now adopted and recite these Miranda warnings and rights every time they arrest someone. Now, what do they really mean? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. It means exactly what it sounds like. You ultimately have the right to remain completely silent, and you don't have to answer any questions that may elicit a confession or give evidence against you. It also means you can answer some questions and not others. It means that you can start answering questions, and at any time you have the absolute right to remain silent and no longer answer any more questions. One thing to note is that if you start shouting out answers or confessions or evidence against yourself, now that can and most likely will be used against you in the court of law because it didn't come from a question asked by law enforcement. The second right is you have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford one won't be provided for you. Now, many states, counties, and cities across the United States have public defender's offices who are willing to step in and assist you and provide an attorney for you if you cannot represent yourself. You must make this known when you're asking for an attorney and talking to law enforcement, and at that point, they're no longer supposed to question you. As always, we're happy to assist. If you feel like your rights have been violated or you have any questions about this, we're happy to help. Give us a shout at 980-999-9999. And as always, in pain, call Shane.
In pain, so I call Shane. 980-999-9999. In pain, call Shane.